Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, 4 nerds by nerds, hang out with these nerds, and we're
Nerdarchy 10.
Nerdarchy Ryan, and we're doing it live.
Yeah, and running a little behind, unfortunately.
Sorry about that, guys.
We had some fuckery with Google. We actually had to create a second event real quick and go from that one because the first one did not want to load. I have no idea why. You're broke.
Oh no. Sorry, broking is very hard to do.
Yeah. So how's everybody's week? You guys getting some gaming going on this weekend? What's happening?
Yeah. So speaking of gaming, I'll have my game tonight with some fans. So I had one person RSVP from the initial list. I mean, it was later than I would have liked to got the word out about it. But that being said, I had to go to the Patreon, so the other 3 players are from there. And we'll see what adventures we get up to in this late afternoon after I'm done here recording.
Sweet. So if you guys have no games planning, you want to check out Ryan's game?
Yeah, or just pause the game you're playing and watch that game, and then
be like, I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Just so we do have a couple announcements. One thing I want to announce right off the bat, and I'll probably say it again before this ends, is I finally got the Lady is a Nag game going on. We had our official first session this past Wednesday.
A re-inaugural session?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, way back when we did a session 0, and we did a session 1, but the first session we did, we had some technical difficulties, and it's pretty much unwatchable. So we actually have 2 of the staff writers in the game, Megan and Samantha, and we also have Lady Fan Vex, who I'm trying to get her to do some writing for us too. She has a really good knowledge of RPGs and paints miniatures and anime and video games, so she'd be awesome on the website too. I haven't got her to jump on there yet.
Yeah. Good deal.
Not like the other 8 people are lax in getting content out there.
That's true, but yeah, I'm just trying to get a little more diversity on the website.
Absolutely.
Get a little more of a feminine touch in there as well.
Not trying to dissuade Vex in any way, shape, or form, or anyone else that might be interested in writing for us.
When it comes to beards, Nerdarchy is overpowered.
Yeah. Yeah, overpopulated. That's true.
Yeah, so that's going on, and right now it's kind of looking like a weekly game. I'm probably going to run like 2 to 3 hours a session, and Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Scarlet Sisterhood of Steel and Sorcery.
I'm gonna have to look for a good thumbnail to standardly use for it.
Red Sonja. You must find Red Sonja.
Yeah,
and a spellcaster.
Yeah.
If possible. And so we got that. We got Ryan's game. What else do we got on the docket?
Well, as always, there's all the stuff that's gone on the past week is down below. Be it RPG related Kickstarters, those aforementioned Nerdarchy articles, or the videos we had on YouTube. So if you want to go check out his game, the link is down below.
Yeah. So we should announce that coming up this week we're going to have the Unearthed Arcana review that dropped this just past week, and there's the other thing which was from the Plane Shift articles about Magic the Gathering, which we're going to record later on after we're done this Q&A.
The Kaladesh. Now, Wizard and Warlock, we did break that up into 2 videos. So Watts has actually given us 3 articles or 3 videos for next week.
Technically, in a way, it's kind of all of them since it's about D&D. When you think about it.
There is that, yeah.
Yeah.
Very rarely do we stray very far
afield. That's true.
Yes. You need a name. Somebody needs a name. You know what? I don't like looking at it on my tab. Renee Heckle needs a name. I'm guessing character name. I don't like on my tablet. It grays the names, so they're harder to read.
Yeah.
Curse you, tablet.
Okay, so they're for a female frost giant.
Oh.
Slayer of her father. Any sort of very Scandinavian name for a frost giant sounds very cool. Like a Helga, or you could just go fantasy it up and just change the letter, like Holga or something like that. You go Heidi, which is very.
I don't think Heidi is very intimidating as a frost giant queen.
Well,
that makes it better.
Yeah. So, and this was I'm trying to find the person.
Hilda, Heidi,
Renee Henkel. So, which you sound like you have a kind of a Norse name with Henkel, right? So, yeah.
No, you're confused. That would be Henkel's son.
Yeah. You could do like Freya would be a good name, solid name. I would basically just scour different Norse mythology sources and come up with cool names. Maybe some Icelandic names.
Ivana Frostia. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good one.
Ivana Frostia?
Yeah. And
That's pretty
that's
solid.
from Ember Shade Innkeeper. So that's a good one.
Yeah.
So you got some things you wanted to talk about, show off?
We were contacted by Red Dragon Gaming, and they had a Kickstarter that was in October for some dungeon tiles, and they are double-sided tiles
Nice.
that are
Yeah, sure.
8x8, just enough to get completely squished by the colossal red that's behind your shoulder. And they wanted our take on it, and they said that they have more stuff that's coming down the road. So actually, this arrived in the mail right before we launched this, so I don't have the link yet down below, but I will try to get that out there and filter it in at some point in time.
These are pretty nice, actually. They're
They're cool.
solid. You could like beat your players with them if you need
They're
to.
cool. They look like they're that they were painted or drawn. Well, I can see like that. There's like some textures going on here. So there's ways you can do it where you can create texture brushes in Photoshop or whatever.
But
So
you've
it looks
got-
like some of that's happening.
We've got a handful of inside outside stuff that's here, so I think they're pretty sweet.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely usable. You'll probably see these in one of our giveaways. You know, we get stuff. We
This
get
is a Adventure
There's a
Realms,
pig in this one.
it's the Adventure Realms RPG map tiles town and wilderness set. It was launched as a Kickstarter in October of 2016. It was funded. We're particularly interested in creating an RPG map set that has good character artwork, but which has modular and could be applied to many different gaming situations. We found that most of the map resources and playmats already out there were either a large generic bland sheet for GMs to draw their own maps, or very detailed and which can only be used for one particular scenario. Our map combines both of these, having art and the detail to help you visualize the scene. It can also be configured and reused for many different adventures. Off the success of the first set, we are now developing our second on a castles and dungeons theme. We hope to launch the Kickstarter in April of 2017. This set will work well as a standalone product, but also integrate the town and wilderness set for larger maps. For example, being able to build sturdy castle walls around the maze of city streets, or having a tower deep within the forest. Our long-term aim is to create a wide range of different tile sets that all work together and can make fantastic playing environments for enriching people's gaming experience.
Okay, I think we got it. We got the gist. So, because it is a problem that I've noticed that like sometimes tile sets, Wizards of the Coast has put them out before, where it's like it's a very specific Wizard's Tower or something like that, and sometimes you want stuff that's a little more vague, like vague enough but still specific enough.
Right.
It's a hard balance to strike, and this looks like it's doing it where it gives you some more use and playability.
Is it me or does it look like that pig is inside?
He looks like he's inside like a pen. He's in a pen.
No, I would imagine these are the streets.
Hey,
I took it as
look,
inside of
look.
a building.
Some pigs
You
get
guys
to have
decide.
their own house, and he's batting down the hatch from the big bad wolf.
Why is that pig inside? Damn it. Adventure so that's pretty cool. These are nice. These are decent. I'm not a huge fan of tiles per se though, because they're kind of a pain in the ass to work with. But I like the bigger ones because they're going to be less of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So like when you've got the 2 or 3 square, they're very easy to get bumped and moved, and thus the things on them fall and shake and whatever have you. Whereas the an 8x8 section, you only need so many tiles that'll cover your table.
You could also like have them on like a side piece of like chipboard or something like that. So it's all set up, and you just like bring the whole thing, plop it down on your table.
Indeed.
I wouldn't plop, set. Gotta set it.
So what do you guys? You guys have questions? What do you guys want us to talk about today?
Feelings.
Yeah, I feel like today we came a little light to the party. We're hoping you guys could supply.
So while you guys are supplying the questions to these guys or looking that up, give a shout out to all of you out there who support us on Patreon. Absolutely, a big thank you. We can't do all the stuff that we do without the help of those out there willing to help us.
Yep, our great nags men and women that help support us over on the Patreon.
And
So,
also, let us not
thank
forget you guys that are using our links to go to Amazon and other places as well. We definitely have seen it uptick since we started asking you guys to do that. Greatly appreciate it.
The whole thing, the function of having pinned comments, like it helps a lot. It makes it easy for you guys to like, oh, I can see that if I want to go here before I do some shopping some places like Amazon, that it would help out this YouTube channel that I might like.
Also, we've noticed an uptick in the merchandise too.
Yeah.
People are buying T-shirts
more
and hats.
T-shirts. I mean, really, that Goblin Dungeon Master thing, like I think it's the best thing I've done. I mean, Role Pair was pretty good, but like the Goblin Dungeon Master, like so my shirt, I wore it so much that like I did get like a rip at the shoulder. It's also too I got fat, like put on too much weight. So, but anyway, like I'm definitely considering buying another one, if not like a hoodie as well, because it looks sharp with a lot of different colors.
That does. So, like as we were saying, if you purchase a drive-through RPG, Amazon, any of that stuff, you use one of our links. It's not going to cost you any more, and we get a small little percentage. So, thank you guys.
Thank you so very much.
And gals.
I was reading something in there, and they're talking about tacos, and for some reason, odd reason, I read tobacco. I'm like, why are you?
Yeah, they're playing.
Like,
they're playing a Western RPG, and it's all about having snuff and shooting tobacco, spitting tobacco.
So we did get like an interesting comment on
Shenanigans
Facebook page. You came in, and someone's like, "Hey, I'm having a problem with your videos, and my problem is I keep running over on my data because I keep listening and streaming your stuff while I'm in the car. And could you guys do podcasts or have your stuff to download for audios and stuff like that?" I was like, well, the problem with that, one of our big revenue streams is YouTube, and we'd kind of be like shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, what if I do YouTube Red and download it? I'm like, well, go right ahead.
Yeah.
Because the way YouTube Red works is it gets rid of all the ads. I guess it opens up special features on YouTube and special content. Not PewDiePie now. But
oh, man. Too soon?
Hey,
are any of you guys PewDiePie fans out there? He's not really my cup of tea, but I'm just curious.
But it does allow you guys to download the stuff, and YouTube Red does give like all the creators a certain percentage or cut of the revenue, so that's kind of cool. It's a win for you guys, win for us. If you're not into the whole, ripping through all your data.
Yeah, I mean, we might like explore the idea of like maybe we could get like sponsors, and then we could turn stuff into MP3s and stuff like that. Like it would just be something just to figure out to like make the business part of things work, because we are trying to make the business work and not have full-time jobs so we can full-time nerd and make cool stuff. So
we may even do a podcast at some point. We've discussed it, we've talked about it. We're actually open to the idea, and we'd like the idea, but
it would be like different content.
Yeah, we'd want to do new content with it. We don't want to just recycle what we're doing.
I mean, I had thought how cool it would be to do is like, when we can put more time and effort into our games, like to actually do content like around creating the game in the session. Like, so either we would pre-record it, and this way it wouldn't be spoilers, so it would air after the fact, but like you can like record like you writing the material and the thought process or whatever. So I think it would have to be a little more in depth than our usual prep, very light prep. Like maybe it shows like a little more thought behind the encounters and stuff, and thinking about different character capabilities. But like that could either be a podcast or another like vlog sort of thing eventually. But with doing 2 videos a day, Monday through Friday, I'm sure most people couldn't take more Nerdarchy, so it would probably be like a weekly feature if we were to do something like that eventually.
Yeah, a weekly feature, or maybe we might start off with monthly and work our way up from there.
Yeah. Well, with multiple games going on, or what, it depends what's happening. Or we could segment stuff out, or
Ember Shade wants to sign up to be a Nerdarchy paid GM. I don't know. You're going to have to send us your resume. I'll have to take a look at that. So currently there are no Nerdarchy paid games yet, although we are kicking around the idea of Nate doing that. And even if he does do it, it's not like it probably won't be a permanent feature of Nerdarchy.
Oh, there's a Nate there. We summoned them all.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, their Tangus Long put, they will pay you in style Kit Kat bars, which is absolutely accurate. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, you really do watch our
Yeah,
videos.
yeah, you've seen the old stuff, or maybe you've gamed with us and we've nearly poisoned you.
One or the other.
Yeah.
Or you poisoned yourself, right? Because we never really actually put the Kit Kat in anyone's hand.
Yeah, we just like
Somebody asked if they could have one. It's absolutely. So I will throw this out there. Questions are not flowing here, but if you have anything that you would like Nerdarchy's take on, or if you have a viewer suggestion, you can send us over to nerdarchy@gmail.com. More than happy to take a look at it, and if it's something that's video worthy,
I see a Scratch Paper Game says, I take Nerdarchy with my morning coffee, starts my day off right. Is this the same as Scratch Paper Games that's doing that, what's that Kickstarter that's called? Damn it.
Are you doing a Kickstarter?
It's the one with like the fantasy criminal guilds. Answer me if you are.
Yeah.
Dusk City, Dusk something.
I think it's Dusk City.
Dusk City or something. It looks really cool, and I'm wondering if this is the same thing. Because if it is, it'd be great to have you on to talk about it because it looks really awesome. Because he was if it's the same person I'm thinking about, was also involved with 5th edition. I can't remember the gentleman's name though. Curse my memory.
Well, I believe the link to that is down
below because it's an active.
Because it's an active Kickstarter. That's caught my attention.
Yeah, it looks really awesome.
Yeah, also Christopher from Nord Games, he's got a Kickstarter going as well for the treasure decks. He did the critical decks, and we are, he's talking. We're in talks with him for sponsoring some giveaways through Nerdarchy. So that's pretty cool. He's a good dude.
Yeah, we can't absolutely guarantee it's going to be our 30K giveaway, but we would like it to be some cool stuff for a 30K.
Did we get in talks with him about getting something set up for next week to do a live chat with them?
That's Kobold Press.
That's Kobold Press.
Because Kobold Press has reached out to us and they want to do a live chat. It's the tough thing really is just scheduling all this stuff. Like this past week, we had a bunch of extra stuff going on. One was we got together with the Mans who won the Fantasy Cruise, which was awesome. Take two, because unfortunately we did not have the audio from the recording we did on the ship.
Take two, Swashbuckling Boogaloo.
Yeah.
So Scratch Paper Games states that I run a gaming channel on VidMe, so it's a different Scratch Paper Games. Because I think the guy who does Dusk City, like I think his gaming company is something along that line. Like it's a very similar name.
Or completely different, as the case may be.
It might be like Scratch Pad or
So as we were saying, we had the live chat with the Mans Monday night. Wednesday night you had your game with the fans, the extra female game, and then Thursday night Dave and I were on with the totally 80s reboot.
Retro reboot.
My apologies.
Don't forget the retro.
And we had a like almost an hour and a half conversation about 80s movies that were
stuff. I don't even know what we talk about. Stuff
related to fantasy and sci-fi 80s movies.
Okay, so you guys did that the other night. I was not even aware that this was happening. I didn't get the memo.
You weren't invited.
I did not get the TPS reports.
Well, it was fun. We did a round robin discussion.
How did you guys record it?
It's their podcast. It was done through Skype.
Okay.
So they handled the
stenographer.
recording.
Yeah, stenographer. You guys just send carrier pigeons back and forth.
And when that goes live, which I think he said is going to be the following week, not this upcoming week, then we'll get the link and then we'll share it out there. We'll talk about it again here. I'll be putting the link to it. So.
Yeah, Tim was a guy that we met on the cruise, and he was actually Brian Stillman's date.
He was his hanger on, if you will.
No way, he was totally his date for the event, and all around cool guy, and he does some podcasting stuff.
I think at one point you referred to him as, which unkindly as Brian Stillman's henchman. Yeah, because apparently like they like game together sometimes. And stuff like that. Yeah. No, Tim's a really cool dude. So we had a question from. Scratchpad Publishing are the Dust City guys. Just looked it up. So thank you to Owen Harvey for clarifying that. Thank you so much. And we have Flagthagen, which I believe is Adam Finney, asking us thoughts on best feats for a Halfling Rogue Mastermind. So my Halfling in your game, actually, because after Mastermind came out, I was like, yeah, that's really Lyndon Hemsworthy. Like he was originally the thief archetype, but he's not running across roof or any shit like that. Like if he can avoid it, he's not. So I took the actor feat actually for him, and I also took skilled, because the amazing thing about the skilled feat for a rogue is by 11th level, if you roll less than a 10 on anything you're proficient in for your skill checks, it is in fact a 10. So taking skilled is awesome for a rogue.
Lucky is always.
Oh, and lucky, lucky always comes in handy, but
Yes.
especially in moments of either when you have advantage or disadvantage, then you can take the best of all three rolls no matter what. Disadvantage is actually the best because you turn a shitty situation into a key situation.
But other than that, I feel like I would just probably go with stat bumps anyway. That's not really a feat-centric character in my opinion.
Yeah, after those three.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Well, and because your rogue and your fighter get more feats than the average bear or average adventurer, you have a little more leeway of what you could do. But those three are pretty solid. I mean, it depends which way you're going to go with your character as well, like thematic things that you might want to try to reinforce.
Well, actor you had taken mainly because it was fitting the theme of what you were doing. So that might not be apropos to the situation, but skill I definitely see is incredibly useful for
Any rogue, yeah.
So there's a comment on here I find kind of funny.
What's that?
Dr. Super Smooth.
Dr.
See if you
Super
guys
Smooth.
can do a charity gaming event and try and get Chris Perkins a DM for you guys. I think there's a really long list of people that he's going to play with before us.
Wait. Here's the thing though. I could see something with local celebrities, in the Philadelphia or something like that. I have contact with Brad Geiger who does Evil Inc. and he actually has a family D&D game with his kids. There's actually, maybe I can hit up the guy from You Bet Your Garden because he actually used to work for Marvel Comics way back in the day, in the 70s or something like that. See if he play. Yeah, I could probably get him to do it. And we could
how old is he?
Mike McGrath, he's probably in his 50s or 60s. Yeah, he's just a really chill guy. I have no kind of green thumb whatsoever, but I love to listen to him talking about gardening stuff. It's same thing with Car Talk, right? I can listen to those two guys. Well, one of them, rest in peace, and passed away. But I give not a shit about cars really, but listening to those guys ramble on about them was really fun.
Let's see, we got Brandon Roulette, current 5e DM. Do you guys ever use Hexcrawl world map for your campaigns, or is it usually more abstract? Abstract. Oh my god, I haven't used a hex map in forever.
Yeah.
Or played that style of game even for that matter. I mean, it'd be fun, but because we don't game as much as we used to, I feel like those games are really hard, and we've gotten into this more episodic style of gaming, where when you're doing a hex crawl game, everyone's got to be there every session, or you're all constantly oh, this guy's asleep.
How do we explain their absence? I mean, it could be you can accept it as a storytelling challenge as the dungeon master, or it can be very much they kind of bucket on head, disappear, or whatever. It's however you want to handle it. Sometimes it's cool to see if you can make it work within your plot. I would recommend you could get the Pathfinder Kingmaker game and just use those resources because you could easily map that into 5e if you're playing 5e. Also, I would look heavily into the West Marches Steve Lumpkin's game that he was running on Roleplay way back when. If you look for his early resources when he's talking about how he built that campaign, he did lots of interesting procedural stuff for how he built out the hexes. He made all these random roll tables, and when the adventurers got to places, he would just roll on a bunch of tables and figure out what these tables said was in that hex now that they were.
I wonder if he put that anywhere.
I don't think he probably put all of his stuff. Well, maybe, but he put a lot of links to where he got ideas from. So it was really cool.
To touch on one of the points.
Oh, this is great. Excalibur PS. We forgot to check in. they love to check. All right, guys, sound off. Where are you from? Who are you? This starting this live chat was a little hectic with having to quick remake it up and everything like that.
Who is your daddy and what does your daddy do?
But to touch on what Ryan's point about the people not showing up. Back in the day, I've shared this before. I always I wasn't going to run unless everybody was there. It was a major headache, major fiasco. Dave talking about episodic, it makes it if you're starting or ending in town every single session, it's very easy for why is this person not here? But when you get into a dungeon, this last session I ran, Mark wasn't present, and I made no excuses of why his character wasn't there. Didn't talk about it at all. It was okay, well, you're off in the background.
Bucket on the head.
Yeah, totally. He just disappears, and next session he'll be there. I can't run stories and have these people coming and going. I've got 7 players in my game, and have to waste so much time on why this person's not there every session. It can it can be exhausting. And I'm not writing a novel here. I'm running a game for friends. So,
So I'm going to put this out there. Tengus Long did a little thing of we captured a kobold, and now he's our mascot. DM is letting us train him up in one class. You know, for kobold, like we did the build about the Craven kobold build. Like somebody did suggest Bard. You do Bard, either Valor or Lore, but basically his Bardic Inspiration is you pitying him, like when things are threatening him, which that would be my way to go on a kobold.
Nice, Cthulhu Kid, parts unknown. And I saw Spoony Bard in here. Is it the Spoony Bard?
It's probably not the Spoony. You probably ain't got time for this.
Yeah. We got all kinds of Texas, UK,
Central
Canada,
Florida,
Georgia.
Yeah. Kyle S. in South Jersey with us.
Never heard of him.
Doctor Super Smooth. I feel like you always kind of like use it in there.
Hey, Ryan,
Winnipeg.
Do you know Tax Scarwing? I mean, he is from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
ABQ. All right. The land of entrapment.
You guys all know each other, right?
Yeah. We got Excalibur in Indiana, Spoony Bard, Seattle, Cthulhu Kid, Tejas, Chad Shirley, way across Georgia, Gabriel Candelario, Central Florida. There's 2 Central Floridas in here. There we go.
Oh, wait a minute. Chad Scurry. Sure, I'm the only player in 100 miles. Okay, so here's what you need to do. Some chloroform, maybe some rope, some duct tape, some chairs. You can get players.
Yeah, there we go.
You might have to roll the dice for them.
Yeah.
No, Nerdarchy does not condone kidnapping.
or the use of chloroform.
So yeah, we're all over the U.S. and the world apparently in the chat.
We got Mount Rev from Montana, Mark Harper from Sacramento, California, Ranger Rory, Mo. Is that Missouri?
Oh, whoa! Wait a minute. The kobolds are in the Ranger's backpack right around. He's got to be a Jedi in training at the very least.
Yeah, that's pretty hysterical.
Make him a Jedi. Any chance we'll see some videos that go into house rules more in depth? We just make the shit up as we go.
I mean, I think we did. Didn't we do a video where we specifically talked about our house rules?
Yeah.
I think we, in our archives, if you search, like you can search a channel's videos, and if you just type in house rules, you'll probably get at least 1 to maybe 3 hits.
We actually did the video, and we're like, oh my god, we have all these house rules. I didn't even know.
Yeah, because we had to organize shit, and that let you know.
Pretty much. Our secondary DM just got a girlfriend. Sorry, dude, that game is over. She's playing. Oh, no, she's playing. But girlfriend, the DM girlfriend. But gameplay has collapsed. Have you guys run into this issue before? And that's Flat Hagen.
Well, I think that's Adam. Right? Am I right with that? Is that Finney? Here's the thing. Like, it depends. Like, is it that people are less likely to be able to make it to the game sessions just because whatever? Or is she kind of a terrible person that ruins the game? Because no, like there was a GM's girlfriend situation, because it's like a trope where like because of this woman, like people stopped playing with us because they found her repugnant. Like she was just obnoxious, and people left the game. Like they specifically said it is because of her.
Fine, take it.
So
you wanted your cap.
There you go.
Oh, they wanted my hat.
Yeah, it's enchanted. But anyway, so is it because the person's that bad, or just because of adulting and life?
You can go to the Nerdarchy shirt spread store and buy the.
You can buy the cap.
You can't get the one that's mine.
Yeah, you can. They're all Ted's cap.
Yeah.
There's only one for sale, so hurry up and buy it real fast.
Yeah, exactly. He'll sign it. So.
Yeah, don't tell him that.
Yeah, so it is Finney.
All right, so we've definitely had players leave the game because of girlfriends. I don't think I've been in a game where players have got a girlfriend and it's messed up the GM.
It sounded like she's joined the game and it collapsed. So I'm not sure the exact instances.
I don't understand the definition of gameplay has collapsed. Like
it's just not good.
Like you guys are showing up, but the gameplay's not happening, or you guys aren't getting together.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So she brings the game down as well.
She's a drag.
Yeah. I mean, it's really kind of like it sucks because it's the GM. It's such a trope, and it sucks that it is a trope.
Do you remember? Oh wait, maybe we shouldn't say this, but I'll say it anyway.
A person. we cannot name names.
We will not name Tom's name. But do you remember Tom? Right? And how he'd come to our house, and like there was a lot of drinking at our house a lot of times when we were growing up, and he would be really loud and obnoxious. Mm. And so they would keep trying to get him to drink more, but they would slip stuff in his drink, trying to make him trying to have him knock him out.
Okay.
We didn't do it personally. It was our parents. So
yeah.
We wouldn't do such a thing, and we don't condone it either. But yeah, So they would keep trying to get him drunk, or not drunk, but get him to take like these sleeping pills, drink these sleeping pills that were mixed into his drink. They would basically roofie him to try and shut him up.
Yeah, and he would like collapse.
But it wouldn't work because he would keep drinking, and he would outdrink them all still.
Well, and he'd collapse and then pick right back up where he like finish his story when he would like come back to. Yeah. So he'd go down for like maybe 5-10 minutes and then pick up his story.
This was all before you met me, huh?
So this is childhood.
This is our childhood.
So I mean, but so essentially.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't roofie the girl. It's not a good idea.
No, so I'm saying is you're saying to try to like knock her out. No, this is not something that you should do. Basically, it's a terrible like diplomatic situation of you're gonna have people that have varying levels of interest in the game and in the group and in the hobby, and there's gonna be some people that don't really add to it, but hopefully they don't subtract or take away from. And I guess part of it is just like mitigating the amount at which they adversely affect your game, because a girl or a guy, there could be somebody that kind of comes for the social aspect of the game.
So I do have one actual constructive that you could do. One, you mentioned that the DM's distracted. Well, you should partner this person up with someone that's not the DM and make them the helper. So, because they're saying that they don't know what their character can do, mechanics and stuff with that, and it depends on like how many sessions into this you are too. If it's only a couple, maybe she just needs a break, and she'll come around with time. But if you could create space maybe between them at the table, so so that the DM can focus on the game and not as much as on the girlfriend, and have someone else help her out when she gets stuck on her character. I mean, we've kind of done that traditionally anyway. If we get a new player that's inexperienced, we tend to have them sit next to a more experienced player, and that player helps them.
Yeah. So strategically, you can have two players show up before the DM and the girlfriend, right? And they kind of sit at the chairs next to where the DM would sit, so she's kind of boxed out from being able to sit right next to the DM. Like, I mean, that can sometimes happen where if there's some players that are problem individuals when they're next to each other, either because they're siblings and like bicker or whatever the issue is. That sometimes you have to imply a little strategery and just where you placed people. It's like wedding planning, right? There's some relatives you don't want to put next to each other. So,
it is very true.
Or maybe you do. Yeah. You know what I mean, guys.
Yeah, you want to see some carnage. Sweet carnage.
The other side of that coin is that what other ways is she bringing the table down? Is it just because things are slowing down because of mechanics, or is there something else going on?
Well, it sounds like they're talking about cases of the DD, distracted DM.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if there's other stuff, you can begin to mitigate that with other things and conversations, and hopefully the relationship stays, and she learns enough about the game that she actually gets into it and loves it as much as everybody else at the table.
Or make the best of it, and while the DM's distracted, peek at his notes. Or scrawl things on there, an extra 1,000 gold pieces, or a vorpal sword.
Ed Fleming's posing the question: is there such a thing as too much homebrew? I don't know. See how you feel, because apparently there's lots of stuff that his group wants to take and convert it into 5e. I guess it's how much time do you want to allot to converting that stuff? How balanced is it? Because like, the latest Arthur kind of showed that there's some stuff that they took from previous editions, and with the way the lore wizard was done, not very good for the current edition of the game.
I don't even think balance matters that much if your group's having fun. That's a very personal choice for your group. If you're all into it, or some of you are into it and the rest of the players just don't care, then it's whatever's fun for you guys. You can homebrew everything, basically rewrite the game if you want. It's your table, do what you want.
As long as everybody's all popping up with it.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Kyle S. is talking about the thing about the girlfriend that only comes to really hang out with her boyfriend. Like, what if you had the girlfriend co-DM with the DM and like ran stuff like hit points with monsters and did like kind of administrative? If she's like literally
pulls out the miniatures, rawr, I'm the monster.
Yeah, like, I mean, maybe if she's really only there, if she doesn't really want to run a character, if she could help him do stuff related to the game, maybe that would work. And that was for Kyle S. Well, Tangus Long with she can be the snack beer wench. I don't know. That's a little.
I was gonna get me a sandwich references, but I thought it was inappropriate.
Yeah.
I don't know anymore in this day.
Well, I mean, but also too, some people love doing the host thing. Like, they like having people there. Me, I'd rather now get the fuck out. But some people like it.
How can I play with? Let me take a look at this one. Nartis X. How can I play without being a downer? He's in search of the man that betrayed his clan on the surface. I enjoy the Underdark, but you don't know how to play it from a character's perspective.
Well, so it's something like with an experienced group in the Underdark, my character has no interest in staying in the Underdark and doing tomb runs there. Well, make a character that wants to be in the Underdark and do tomb runs. Like, if the DM is doing a thing and you willfully make a character that's not going to fit into that thing, or so there's an idea of session 0, right, where you discuss the content of what you communally want to play. You really, like, maybe it's a discussion of, can I instead make a character that is going to want to do the thing that the group is doing? Because it's a group dynamic, and you have to kind of figure out something that's going to work with the group.
Yeah, the funny thing about the chat is, right, I'll look at it, and you don't get context, right, because you're not seeing the comments before the way it scrolls. I got Kyle S. Nash. She mostly texts and hits things with her great axe. I'm like, that sounds like narrating material.
Yeah, there you go. If she can text and use a great axe at the same time,
that's pretty impressive. Yeah.
Yeah,
of course, I have a feeling there's like a whole conversation thread that happened before that.
Yeah. So hopefully that helps Notarius X. We have Dabil from Comic Book University poking his head in. Hey, what's up, buddy? He does a YouTube channel that's about comic books. So if you stay up on comics, he'd be a good person to check out.
And he upgraded to the Yeti, so he's got awesome sound.
Yeah, his audio was low before. I listened to an older video. I was like, well, especially because I was listening to it at work, sneaking in my YouTubing, and my headphones, like, for whatever reason, like, there's no volume on it. I can barely hear a lot. Even like more established people, like professionals, like, oh man, their audio must be low. Like, it's almost better if somebody's audio is a little higher and then you kind of back down.
Yes.
But when it's low, it's just low. So.
And I can sympathize. We've had, you guys who've been around a while, we've had all kinds of tech issues over the time. We just figured out how to use the new equipment. Like, what do you guys think of the videos this past week? I thought they looked pretty freaking sharp. I was pretty impressed with myself.
Yeah, there you go. Good job, buddy.
Good job,
so,
Dave.
We got Dr. Super Smooth saying, you guys have girls at the table? JK.
Yeah. It happens.
Are there chicks there? I want to do them.
Attack the darkness.
We've had a number of females, come in and out of our gaming table.
They've been all girlfriends, except for Nicole, which is technically a girlfriend, but she's actually a gamer.
Well, no matter how somebody gets into the hobby, at least they get into it. So
yeah, but there is definitely a difference between someone that just shows up to be there and someone else goes, "Oh, this is what you do. I really want to get involved with that."
Well,
or Mark's, girlfriend at the time, but wife now is like, "Is this mofo really just hanging out with these guys in his basement, or is he going to titty bars?" Came once, saw what we're doing. Yep, Mark will never get laid by anyone else.
Jeez, figured it was sick. Well, that being said, like, I think Samantha Carr, actually, she got started playing D&D through her brother, and so I think that was her interest in gaming predated being in a relationship with somebody who also likes to game.
Yeah, so I agree. It doesn't actually matter how you contact the game and get into it. The real difference happens whether or not you actually are into the game.
Yeah. So Excalibur LPS, absolutely, it's Ted's sniper rifle making the audio super smooth and clear. There we go.
Although we did have to figure out some settings and where to put it, and there's definitely some weird videos from the previous week where it sounds like we have a dragon in the room with us.
Yeah. Well, Kyle S. He's saying that the girlfriend is going to be in this sort of beer and pretzel style game. Yeah, like if you're doing a game that's more absurd and ridiculous, I think as long as she has a pulse and a sense of humor, she should get into that game. Like, maybe her mechanics understanding might not be great, but at least she can say, I'm going to do this ridiculous thing, like a vault off of the top of the dragon's nose or something.
I think Tax Scarwing just called us ugly. I'm not sure. At Nerdarchy, they're awesome. Just stay away from the face zooming. Show us anything but your faces.
Extreme close up.
I think he just didn't like that particular style of video.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the cut when you're cutting.
Yeah, we're playing with the cut.
Yeah.
They want to see all of us all at once.
It seems. So again, would you guys do the Nerdarchy spouse segment? You're not going to get the segment you think you're going to get.
It's from Ed Fleming.
Yeah.
So I think Tanya's the only one that's actually willing to do it. I think your wife and mine have been like, nope, we don't want to be on camera.
Yeah. It was hard getting my son, who's a gamer, to come into our games and be on camera.
Yeah, some people just don't want to be broadcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
So also, what I saw, was it Ranger Roy? Yeah, Ranger Roy. He asked about, like, I think I have one in the can to go up still. That'll probably be next weekend, maybe, or maybe we didn't play yet. I'm not sure, because we had a bunch of them and we had kind of a backlog, so they went out.
Because we had my game, Scott's game, my game on the cruise, your game before the cruise, so that kind of started slowly filtering out, right?
Yeah, Cthulhu Kid has a request. I want you guys to D&Di's Slayer, as in the heavy metal band, or Felix and Gortrok.
Gartrek from the Warhammer universe.
Yeah.
So Sangrel did this thing about aboliths and illithids, but I think we did a GM911 with that same damn trope. So like about exploring aboliths. So we've done videos specifically with aboliths, but we did another video that was specifically an intrigue versus an illithid and an abolith. I mean, unless somebody else is running that same sort of game idea.
Yeah.
So I think we might have fielded if that was a GM901, I think we've already done that.
We're really close to it.
Yeah, or something so close to the same idea, but I'm pretty sure it's an aboleth versus an illithid.
Yeah, that is funny when we do, like, we recently did get a GM911. I forget what it was, but I'm like, Ted, I think we did this one. And I actually just went back, found the GM911, and sent them the link to the video.
Yeah.
I'm like, here it is. Oh, that's another thing. Like, we haven't been getting as many GM911s. I guess we answered all your questions.
Yeah. Well, so guys, our preference nowadays, just because the numbers are so extreme, if you could send those as emails to nerdarchy@gmail.com and put GM911 in the subject line, and then try to keep it, within reasonable length so we can get it
roughly 2 to 3 paragraphs, or if you have a shortened version, you can put a too long didn't read section.
With just bullet points or something.
Yeah. Which
super helpful.
I feel like once you tell them to do that, there's no point in putting all the other stuff, because you just tell them we're not going to read it.
Like, if you could keep it like 1,000 words ish, like that would be majorly helpful. Because sometimes we get things that are like mini books, and it's hard to read novellas to try and field questions.
So a funny mouth, I have a discussion topic. I'm running a game with 10 players, first problem, and they're all level 11 to 13. Everything I throw at them, they walk through with ease. I find the CR very unreliable. I feel like because the numbers of players are so high, it's
this is completely like
two parties in one.
There's art, there's science, right? What you need is magic to figure that out.
All right, so this is a problem that I have frequently with 7 players at my table, and most of them are really well spec'd out. So initially they're really a level higher because of how they've been prepared. So I have fought with what challenge rating is acceptable, and the more players you have, the higher you have to go, knowing full well that in order to be a challenge, you are going to drop players. If you can't accept that,
peace with it,
then you can't be running a game with 10 players. It's just not feasible. And I can imagine with that many players at the table, the amount of things that you have to field, combats are going to take a long time, which is why in my game, I streamlined how many number of combats are going to happen at a session. I tend to cap it at about 2, just because I don't want that to take up the entire session, and I don't want to game till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
I mean, could you do a thing where you find a story reason to split the party so they're off doing 2 different adventures, and you have 2 full adventuring parties when you have that many people?
Indeed.
So you could do a thing where like one team has to go do something here, another team has to go do something here simultaneously, and it gives you a manageable normal, because all the numbers are built for a party of 4 to 6, like all those things in the DMG where it's telling you how to build your encounters. So when you go double that, the math really goes off the rails. It's hard to figure out.
4 to 5 players is ideal, and if you've got 10, that really is 2 adventuring parties. And I agree with Ryan. Split that group up.
So Sangrel again said thanks for the mention of where you can find that stuff. But yeah, if you just do like a channel search and like type in Aboleth or even Mind Flayer, in the channel, when you go on the page, there's a search thing specifically for that channel. So you should be able to find a bunch of stuff there.
Yeah, also everything is playlisted too, so if you feel like you know the playlist it would be in.
So without being a GM911 for that.
Yeah, like instead of having 1,600 videos to look through, you can probably break it down to like, 200 videos to look through.
Yeah, GM911s we've probably only done like maybe 50 to 75. Also minimums.
We definitely do have playlists that are over 100
Yeah.
videos. So the point is, like, should we break down the playlist into playlists?
We used to do GM901s about 3 a week, so back when those guys out there were more prolific.
Oh wait,
What
Ben-
did I miss, bro?
Ben Caravan. What did I miss, bro? All right, we're gonna restart the whole thing
Video, just
from
for
the
you.
beginning,
Yeah.
so we can catch Ben up.
Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy, 4 Nerds by Nerds. No, we're not really doing
No,
it.
that's not happening.
Everything.
Yeah.
Is it possible to make multiple phase boss encounter Final Fantasy style?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yes.
From Renee Hickel. I haven't actually ever played Final Fantasy, to be honest with you. I don't even know
There's
what it is.
Sephiroth where he has like two different stages. It's the idea of what you talked about with like killing the dragon when you did the Draco Lich video.
Oh, yeah,
killing
yeah.
the dragon and then it becomes a Draco Lich, right? So that's 2 hard encounters back to back.
Oh.
This is not my final form.
We also recently me and Ted did a combiner video. Someone asked us to do a video a la, Voltron or Defensor or Devastator, Bruticus. So we busted that out as well. So you guys can look for
That in
up
the
this
upcoming
week.
future.
Yeah, it'll probably be this week, maybe. I don't know. We're starting to build the backlog back up.
Yeah, which is good because things get rough when Dave starts work again. So it's a good thing to have some content.
So we
in
can
the bag.
continue to pump out like 50 videos a month for you guys.
But to answer your question, doing multi-stage thing, just make sure that you take into account how much resources are being expended. So starting off with something that is significantly weaker than the party, but maybe has a little bit of extra hit points or max hit points for whatever its challenge is, you then can work through it. And as the creature gets stronger and stronger, hopefully the party understands what's going on. They don't blow all of their resources before they get to their hardest thing. Like, oh, we've got attacks and cantrips left.
Well, I mean, that being said, though, too, like sometimes using stronger resources saves you in hit points because you kill the thing. Now, in this instance, it's going to make it morph quicker, so you figure out what the breaking point is for that to happen.
Right.
But maybe using those stronger resources get it there quicker. Or maybe they find lore that doing this thing will start to diminish it, but there's sort of these crazy death throws, and you have to.
I want to talk
deal with
about
that.
this now.
What is this?
Comic Book University, Sengro, I want to make an Aboleth Lich now.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
And that's wrong.
So wrong.
Where did he touch you with that dead tentacle? Ugh.
Oh no.
That would be brutal. So what would become of the scum that they make? They make undead scum.
Icky zombie scum.
We never actually did get scum, but we do have Sea Spawn and
Deep Sun.
Deep Scions and Volo's Guide.
Close enough.
Comic Book University wants to turn everything into a lich or undead of sorts.
Yeah, and Excalibur has a gelatinous cube lich. Well, why stop at one? You could have like a tray of gelatinous cubes that come out liches.
Jigglers.
Yeah,
Jigglers.
they're in dinosaur shapes.
I don't know.
T-Rex. Zombie T-Rex
I don't-
lich.
I
Gelatinous
don't
cube.
think it's possible to have a gelatinous cube become a lich because it doesn't have the skull.
Beholder Lich. I believe that's just really pretty much a death tyrant.
Yeah.
Which we kicked. Oh, we can't tell you that. We didn't put that video up yet.
Yeah.
Never mind.
We kicked the habit.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. Any other new developments going on? We're gonna shoot down here, see if anybody.
The best part of our chats is like they end up talking to each other and ignoring us, I think. They just want to have a live chat to talk to each other.
And we can even ask them about whether they're paying attention to the chat or us, because if they're not paying attention to us, they can't answer the question.
That's true.
Yeah. So we have Excalibur LPS a little bit ago asked a question to me. What's the most overpowered you can make a 17th level character? I mean, so I will say, like, for all my venting about the sorcerer, the fact that they have more access to 5th level spells than anybody else by 17th level means they can cast like 9 5th level spells. So they can make every spell they cast at least a 5th level spell. So with action economy and
Just like a warlock.
like right, or no, like a lore wizard. No, so all their spells can be 5th level spells, and then they get their higher level slots, and then they have like quicken spell and twin spell and things like that. Like, so you start to really be able to bludgeon things down. So you can go Nova for an encounter or two and mess stuff up at 17th level.
I know Comic University. He wants us to do the glaive.
The glaive.
The glaive. I believe that's what he wants.
From Prow?
Yeah, from the Cole movie.
See, I brought this up weeks ago, and people are like, no one's going to know what that is.
No one knows what that shit is. You and Bill, that's it.
Yes, I wanted to, D&D-ize the Krull movie. I want to make the throwing star, the glaive, and everybody else has shot me down.
All right.
Thanks for the support, Bill.
We have an Ed Fleming recommendation. So Ed Fleming recommends watch Nerdarchy videos on half speed. They sound like they are drunk. All right, good to know.
Yeah. Well, then there's other people that I've seen in the comments who are like, you have to speed it up to X, and they sound like chipmunks.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing? Like, you got too much time on your hand. I don't even know where that comes from. I would never think to like speed up or slow down the videos.
Yeah. And so Ember Shade, you have that right too. Like the Paladin, I imagine, especially Oath of Vengeance, if the gods forgive when you crit, because you're absolutely going to smite at your highest level. You're definitely going to take the what's the hunter's mark that you have. You're definitely going to have to take that. So you're critting with an absurd amount of dice. So that is particularly nice.
I kind of want to. I'm going to be playing. I might be playing a guest spot in someone's online game, and I'm going to be playing one of the new sorcerers. I'm going to be playing the stone sorcerer. So what I can't wait to do is use twin spell on Witch Bolt, and just like, well, no, you do that and you hold that every round.
Well, when you have quicken spell, it gives you an extra action.
But then you quicken every round to
be able to cast a spell.
To actually be able to cast a spell.
Yeah, no, quicken spell, like again, like talking about the coolness of a high level sorcerer, because you need sorcery points, you need resources to do these things. Quicken spell like lets you break action economy by expending your action to do certain spells that have effects that are going to cost that action. So yeah, that's another great use of it.
I thought stone was the one that you didn't particularly. I thought you liked the C in the other one.
No, I do, but thematically I like the stone one. I said Helldwarf stone sorcerer is actually the one I was probably more likely to play.
Okay.
Make my thing character. So let's see. Targanus Long, mounted halfling or gnome on a masterful. I got one of those in my game. The only problem is with the mastiff is it has 5 hit points. So they would heroically ride the mastiff into battle and then send it away.
Really, that bard needs to get the find steed spell so that then she can get a more powerful steed. Mastiff essentially that
I'm probably just going to incorporate it into the game or level the dog or something, because
otherwise it's like no fun, because the character that has this idea of doing this thing can't actually do this thing.
See that thread about killing the stuff?
Well, yeah, but it's not even a challenge with 5 hit points. Listen, when it sneezes and it can hit its head on the ground and die, then I want it to be at least a challenge. I want it to be able to take some shots. Like if I just attack it and it dies, right? There's no build-up. The player is not going to be like, oh my god, he's going to kill my dog. No, I need to be able to smack it a couple times.
But the raven that has 1 hit point that we talked about in the Unearthed Arcana video, you're like, oh, I'm so killed.
Well, but you get it back. It gets better.
Yeah, it does get better.
So, Adam Flagothin asks about, is there too much focus on mounted combat archetypes feat for how little mounted combat that there seems to be? Have you guys personally utilized much mounted combat? So again, like in your one game, in the one game we play on Thanksgiving, the Spelljammer game, Ace Zenith he's not a very good mounted combat character, but he happens to be he's got an 8 deck, so if he has to make a check to ride well, probably not going to go well. So
it'll be better if the mount makes a check to keep you on.
Yeah, exactly. I do have an exotic saddle, military saddle, to help keep me in. But that being said, it kind of becomes on the dungeon master's onus is on them that if a character invests significant resources in doing a thing, to have that thing matter. Like I feel like that's part of my job is to honor the choices that the players make, and so because otherwise it sucks if you're going to focus this. Now that being said, if you tell the players, yeah, you're going to be doing this type of, it's an urban game and there's not going to be much travel, then you're going to have much time to do mounted combat because you're not riding your mount anywhere.
Right.
But that being said, yeah, like I would try to get that into my game.
Yeah, long answer, sure. Don't bother with mounted combat. It's a huge resource expenditure for something that's not going to be that useful. Unless you're a small creature. Then, you know.
Oh, you know what, Ed Fleming, have you had a character that the DM rejected that you really wanted to play? So tell me about it. So when I was playing a Kingmaker game, I really wanted to play a Goblin Wizard who was basically the smart gremlin from the Gremlins 2 movie, the one that took the potion that made him a genius. Like, I wanted to play this goblin that, like, kind of just looked askance at all goblin kind, because in Pathfinder, like, they like hate writing and they think it's like evil sorcery or whatever. So I wanted him to, the idea was so eventually he wanted to exploit his own people and utilize them.
I just want
like he was still evil
that runs around harassing goblins with writing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the worst thing you could do is, you know, send them to after school detention and make them write stuff.
Yeah. But essentially, like, that GM wouldn't let me play that character in Pathfinder. His reasoning was because it was a monstrous race, even though it was a frontier town that was supposed to be okay for other monstrous race characters or whatever, but it did not fly.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. All right. What we got?
There's a lot going on there. You need crickets. I want crickets. Where's that cricket at?
We have a thing about handling surprise in 5e.
What about it?
So let's see. That's from Albert Ramirez. Bail bonds in the house. All right. If I ever need your services, I'll keep you in mind. How you guys?
Is that a different bail bonds guy? Are you the same guy?
I think we have 2 bail bondsmen.
Nice. We're set. When we get arrested for doing illegal shit, we're set.
Yeah.
We
just
guys
need
bail bond us?
We just need a lawyer, and we're golden. A criminal lawyer. No.
We'll defend ourselves.
Yeah.
We'll take turns.
So full of
Nate's our legal department.
Oh, right. We got Nate.
Yeah, he's our barrister. All right. So, I mean, surprise is kind of, I like to think of it as that passive perception that every character gets, or even if they get an active role. I like to handle that. That's a situation for each individual character, not the whole party, because it's obnoxious. Like, if you have 5 people roll, of course, one's going to roll a 15 plus, and like everybody's aware. That's no fun. So I like to have some people aware and some people not.
We got another one by Kyle McMillan. I have a majorly illusionary wizard in the party as a first-time DM. How should I treat his no illusion? How realistic are they? So it goes kind of back to like Ryan was saying. You like to honor the choices that a player makes. So I had in my recent game, the illusionist actually cast an illusion of a pit in front of a trio of goblins. So I had the goblins make dex checks, and you know, one of them failed, so he tripped and fell into the pit that isn't actually there. And the instant that they interacted with it, I had them realize that it wasn't there. But that being said, I had all 3 of them kind of trip over each other and fall and just lose their action for the round, because it basically it's a cantrip. So I'm not going to have like something.
Well, no,
severe.
wasn't that the 3rd level spell that they used? I think it should be. Like, cantrip is 1 level, but like there's the major illusion, right? I think that might have been a casting of major illusion.
No, so they did use that for a different spell.
Okay,
for a different effect.
So it does depend
on how powerful.
Yeah. Like for the cantrip version with a pit, like maybe say that they've got knocked prone, so they have to lose the 15 feet of movement to get up.
Yeah, and that's essentially what I did. I think that's what it was. They had to use the movement to get up. They couldn't get close enough or whatever. So they really, it was like losing their action. But it just depends on what it is. I don't really care about my monsters that much. If they're a more intelligent monster, or I was using the goblins slightly comical in that adventure as well. It was a little bit more serious. Then I might have did things different. But for the most part, I do whatever seems like it's going to be fun for the players.
Yeah.
And it was cool because then immediately after that, all 3 goblins got kebabbed.
As they're wont to do.
How does a wizard create a Hamakai in 5e? Albert Ramirez bail bonds again. No, I don't really know. I forget if it says in
under the monster section.
Under the monster section.
Is that in Bolos or is that in actual monster?
The monster manual.
We don't want to don't domino the books.
We have
Ted does not like it when that happens.
Yeah.
We've had some the books have got a lot of weight to them these days.
Yeah, that 5e section, it keeps growing for some reason.
For some reason, slowly but surely.
Homoculi.
Oh, look, we got some Eye of the Beholder action going on there. Art of D&D. Our friend Brian Stillman. Oh, also Armada Games. If you're in Tampa Bay, check them out.
Happen to still be in the book.
Yeah, some random plugs.
Yeah. It's like a pinata. There's just, what else is in there?
I don't know. That's the one that I can take sections out of. So who knows?
I need to do something about my books as well. So, did you guys answer? You guys playing D&D tonight? What are you guys doing? We don't actually have a game tonight.
Yeah, crazy enough. So is there homunculus in there?
Yeah, it's in there. I knew it was in here.
They're adorable. Look at that little
But it
guy.
doesn't actually say anything about create them. You know what? It's probably like puppy dog tails. And
You can make like a very minor version of like
Snout Snips.
Manual of the Golem or whatever. Like look at that magic item from the Dungeon Master's Guide and make a scaled back version because it's only a homunculus, so it's a way lesser construct.
Yeah, I mean, really, it just depends on how many hoops you want your players to jump through in order to do it. How much you care that it's in your game, and also it's going to be a matter of how much magic is in your world as well. So once you factor that stuff in, then it's just a matter of like how hard of a task do you want it to be? Is it just something that happens in their downtime? Do you want them to go on a little bit of a quest to get the resources or the manual to make them? It's it doesn't have to be that complex.
It can be as difficult or as easy as you want. Like maybe they have to go get powdered gargoyle, like go get parts of it, or be able to go to a special market to go buy it because that's an elemental creature that maybe helps infuse the soul and essence of the construct of the homunculus. And so yeah, it basically is literally, if you're the dungeon master, it's as easy or as difficult as you want it to be.
And as always, remember, guys, Ted is the stick in the mud. He's pointing out the time to me. He's like, "God damn it, Dave."
Hey, I know we've got our own agenda for the rest of the day. I'm sorry for having to do my admin duties. And I did it in such a way that you could have been like, all right, I got this.
No.
Let's keep going. No, you've got to be like, all right, Ted, you suck.
It's Ted. He hates the fans. I'm sorry.
Throwing them under the bus. All right.
Yes, that's it. You figured me out. I have no desire to do this. Forget this Nerdarchy thing.
I quit.
I don't even like Dungeons and Dragons. Actually. And we have a couple more videos to do, and then I have to go prep for my game. So it does make sense for me to get out of here before too long. Too.
Yeah, and hopefully for tonight, the Google Hangouts isn't crappy like it was for this one. But anyway, guys, we're going to do this again next week. If you have any questions, we didn't get to them, save them. If you have video suggestions, send them to nerdarchy@gmail.com, as well as your GM911. So until next time,
Stay nerdy.